does that rate in terms of Waterford performances so far this summer?
I suppose, look, we came with a job to do, and in the end we got the result, so that was the main thing. But look, we know we'll have to go again, and I suppose up it again, because there's 3 serious teams left in the championship. So whatever the draw is tomorrow, it's going to be a tough draw.
Was it a frustrating afternoon, because there were times when you looked like you were well in control, but Wexford just hung in there for a lot of it?
Yeah, look, that's what you're getting in the county nowadays. Like, there's no team gone, and I suppose that the last day proved that against Kilkenny. They were 8 points up or whatever we were, and they came back again, and Wexford tried until the last second. They got a goal, I suppose, for the reward. So look, we just knew that coming here today, that was an unbelievable task that we had in our hands, and we done the job in the end, thank God.
We all know you all want to get to the very least an All-Ireland final. It's made that little bit more difficult now, isn't it, following Tadhg de Burke's red card?
Yeah, it is. Look, I didn't see what happened, to be honest with you, and I suppose we'll look at it and see what the story is. But look, he's a massive player for us, and he showed that the last day in extra time against Kilkenny that he's a huge player for us. So we just have to, I suppose, try and go again. But look, we have the panel there, and whatever the lads decide to do now, we'll just have to get behind it.
Okay, Alston, congratulations today. Well done.
Thank you.
Actually, we have Alston's boss here, Derek McGrath, giving Alston a little bit of a hug there. Derek, you're smiling at the moment. I saw a lot of frustration at the end when you conceded the goal, even though the game was already won. What does that tell us about your side?
Yeah, look, we're just delighted to be in a third semi-final in a row, you know, and we obviously knew it was a formidable task ahead of us today, and just delighted overall, you know, in terms of the progress to the team, probably on a different trajectory than Wexford at the moment. They've had a massive year as well under Davy, so our job was just to come here, get into a semi-final by hook or by crook, and we're at the same stage now as we were when we were, you know, this time last year, I suppose. And I suppose the prospect now is, you know, to try and face into the Galway or the Cork challenge with a certain optimism. But obviously, I don't think any of them will be in too much trepidation ahead of playing us, you know.
Oh, I think they might be a little bit. But Derek, do you feel you're better this year than you have been?
No, I never really compare. I'm not really one for comparisons in terms of, the only proof is if you actually deliver performances on given days, day after day. So are we better remains to be seen. But what we are is we're a very united group who represent our family and friends, as I said before the game, with absolute gusto and pride. And the same as Davies' crowd in Wexford, the same as Donald Maloney and the lads yesterday in Clare, any team that exits the championship at this stage. We're all trying our best to try and get over the line, but only one team unfortunately can win it. But look, our aim was to be in the last 4, and we're still standing, you know.
If you were to lose a player for the All-Ireland semi-final or for any crucial game, could you have picked a worse man to lose than Tadhg de Burke, given the way you play and the way he plays? Yeah,
you're spot on there. I have to be perfectly honest. Yeah, but look, we'll see. I haven't the classic Arsene Wenger now. I haven't seen it, and all I will say is that Tadhg Burke for the last 3 years has been a pure joy to work with in terms of his purest attitude of the game, in terms of how he hurls. So any sense or any association with anything that would be foul or foul stroke or otherwise, I'd be hugely surprised. But look, will remain to be seen. We'll have a look at it, and we'll leave that take its due course from tomorrow on, you know.
Mind you, Dara Fives didn't do bad, doing not too dissimilar role today, did he?
Yeah, look, I'm delighted for Dara. Dara has had 2 or 3 years of absolutely crucifying injuries, so to see him come back in the manner he has, to see the patience he has in terms of the rehabilitation he's had to do over the last 2 or 3 years is very rewarding for Dara, and good honest family, the Fives family, so delighted for him.
Delighted for you. Well done, Derek McGrath. Congratulations.
Thanks.
Yeah, indeed. Well done to Derek McGrath and the Waterford players on their success today. You know, the panel here in studio, they all predicted a Waterford win before this match. Liam, you actually
got it right. We want to get it right for once, wouldn't we? One in a row.
You're good for Galway in 10 days' time.
Well, I've gone for them all years, so I can't change.
But in fairness to Waterford, they were full value for the win. I mean, we said it before the match unanimously. We felt that they were further down the road than this Wexford team, and they showed it again today. But you know, they had to call under experience. I mean, in terms of the start they made, I think Brick Watch put his hand up and said, "Hey lads, I want to get back in another semi-final." And to me, then Kevin Moran, you know, when Brick started the tower, Kevin Moran rocked in as well. He scored 1-3, so I thought the two of them had a huge impact on the game overall. But again, when you look at like place balls, you know, just having someone like Pádraig Mahoney 9 times, I know he missed 1, but I mean 9 times he put the ball down, 9 times over the bar. That's what Wexford will be cross about. But again, something that's very pleasing for Waterford is Maurice Shanahan came off the bench and contributed, and Brian O'Halloran came in and got 2 points as well. And what really impressed me about Maurice is sometimes I'm critical because he goes for his own score. One time he got the ball, He looked back in, gave it to Austin Gleeson, bang over the bar. So I think they're going to need that teamwork when they get to Croke Park, and I was impressed by what I seen when they came off the bench today.
Yeah, what came off the bench is right, and also, as Liam said, Cyril, you know, out in the field, the guys like Brick Walsh and Kevin Moore and fellas like that.
Well, they're around a long time, and as Liam said, like, you know, Brick started off well, but that Moore, like, he has an engine up and down the pitch. He's picked wing forward, he goes out midfield, he covers the whole ground. And again, the subs that come on, the energy. Okay, we all know Morris can do great things and maybe sometimes do daft things, but he's a good hurler. But the other boys, like O'Halloran and Ryan Bennett, they have great pace, and like they weren't weak in the team. Like, you know, Davy made great moves before the game, and again at half-time, Brahan lads and Wintford broke. But like Waterford still had more backup. I was sorry to see Ty de Burke going off, Michael. I didn't see what happened, because like, to me, I've seen him playing colleges, I've played all along, and he's a brilliant hurler, not like that. Whatever happened, it's very hard to see what happened. I think they'll appeal it anyway. I'd hate to see him missing. It's a great win for Waterford. Now, I know Wexford will be disappointed. Everyone's saying they had a great year, and they had. They'll be disappointed that they didn't put it across the line, but when they look back on it, they will feel like that the goal before half-time kind of turned against them. Now, they came out the second half and got the 2 or 3 quick points, but if they did, then Pádraig Manning got a few frees again, and they were always, Waterford the system they have, if they get 4 or 5 up, it's hard to pick it back, especially when you don't get goals. So it was there to hold them. They got 1 goal near the end, but at that stage the game was over.
We have another break to take here on the programme. More on today's All-Ireland Hurling quarter-final right after that. For de Burke.
Absolutely, Michael. It was all going lovely for them. It seemed all over. Sharp puck out to Conor Gleeson. Definitely Harry Keogh doesn't allow Tig to overlap for the pass from Gleeson, and they get tangled, Michael. It's fairly inconclusive. Definitely Harry Keogh, look at, he stops him from making the run, first of all. Now they get tangled. The face guard does fly up off the helmet. We don't really know was it his hand there from that. It's a bit inconclusive, but there was some contact. And look, 2 or 3 years ago, if you touched the face guard, you were straight off. That seems to have faded in the last couple of years. There's been a good few incidents have been let go. But like, that is after really tinging the success here today, if that stands, because he was massive. He was dead solid for them.
Like, he was being stopped from making a run. You know what I mean? He got tangled. Okay, the strap came off, but I'd be very surprised if Waterford don't appeal that.
I'm sure they will.
For sure. But I think if you go back to the Munster semi-final, where Stephen Bennett, it was very, and actually it wasn't done on the day. Remember, he caught the face guard, but it was very clear in that one. It was conclusive that he caught the guard. It definitely is inconclusive there. So I think the boys tonight will have a bit to chat about, because we couldn't definitely looking at that was inconclusive.
He certainly didn't start the incident.
No.
You see clearly that Harry Keogh says you're not going to overlap him, and he checks his run. It's a black card in football for checking runs now.
Yes,
you know, so.
Well, actually, I suppose. Well, it is a foul on the face guard. But
I really think, like, he's only getting out of the tangle. He doesn't pull it. Like, the strap goes up. It doesn't come off. Like, as you said, the Bennett one, he actually caught it. They'll appeal it, Michael, I think they'll win the appeal.
Plus, they were so close together, it's very hard to know, you know.
Let's have a look, lads, and see if we've got another angle on this, which we might be able to tell us a little bit more.
Well, you see, he's trying to get free there, and Harry's making sure he can't go forward for the run. No, they kind of just swing off one another. There's no hurdles. They're kind of pulling off one another. Like, Harry's doing his job because he doesn't want the Burke going up for a return pass from Conor Gleeson here. He throws him out of the way, but like, you know, it's kind of 6 to 1, half a dozen to the other. Okay, the strap does go up, and Harry goes to the linesman.
Is right there as well, though.
The linesman is
right there now.
Yeah.
No one had a better view than the linesman there.
But he went to the linesman.
Interesting to see what
the Wexford player went to the linesman. But I still think they have a great case.
Fergal Horgan didn't make any, like, the players had gone up, and it was a free in for Waterford. No, it was a wide, wasn't it? Up
Colin Dunford hit a wide.
Dunford, and he called it back. So none of us knew what was going on.
Fergal Horgan was taking the linesman standing it.
Yeah. All right, lads. Thanks for all of that. And indeed, that is about it. The season
we've got this year, from inside Wexford and outside of it, we appreciate it unreal. And we might have been beaten, right? But I'll tell you one thing, I'm extremely proud of them guys. And you know what? There's a lot more in them guys, I can tell you that.
So there's some of the reflections on the Pádraig Manning, of course, getting his 9 points from 10 shots at goal. Jack Guiney, the top Wexford scorer. And when we reflect on that game, Davy Fitz rightly very proud of his team, Jackie. But for the first time in the history of the Hurling Championship, there is no Leinster team in the All-Ireland semi-final, which is an extraordinary thing in itself. Waterford deserved winners in your view?
Yeah, it's very strange with no Leinster team in Des. Waterford were the better team and definitely deserved to win today. It was very tactical. There was both teams employed sweeper, and that pushed a lot of bodies into that middle third and was very congested. You know, and it was very much a possession game. And you know, the goal was very, very important in the game, and it was the difference in the end. But for me, Waterford were the better team on the day.
I suppose there was never going to be many goals with the sweepers at both ends.
Yeah, well, a sweeper is designed to cut down space, cut down goal opportunities, and that was done today. The goal that Waterford did get was from a mistake, unfortunately for Wexford. But you know, the sweepers did their jobs today. They were both excellent, and both shut down that central channel where goals really come from.
Ken McGrath, what did you make of that Waterford performance? A couple of your old teammates kind of were shining there.
I think it's great there's no Leinster team still in the semi. No, look, it was a tricky game for Waterford. We'd always deal with being favourites, always as good as that, and it felt like a bigger game than any quarter final. A new stadium, a fairly packed house, but to me the two older lads set the tone from the start. Kevin Moore and Brick Welch were brilliant, and I asked for leaders a few weeks ago against Cork, and the two boys stood up again today. They were top class. They're doing this for years. You see Brick here win the ball over Willie Devereux. He was too big, too strong. We don't always do this now, a great point over the shoulder. But the two lads really, really delivered today, and it was massive for them to do that. And they kind of set the tone from the very start that, look, this is the day we have to get over this quarter final, go into a semi-final, and we go from here. Here's Brick again, using his experience, drawing the foul, which he's very good at doing. And this is a prime example of leadership that I was saying a couple of weeks ago. Kevin looking for the ball, demanding that ball, getting a good pass, taking on the marker, having a quick look up, popping the ball over the bar. And that's you can't ask for more than two boys at that. And if they can chip in with that every day, 1 treat from Kevin, a point from Brick. But for the first 20 minutes, Brick was on nearly every ball. Yeah. And I set the tone from the very start, and it was a great start for the team to drive on for the rest of the game.
Yeah, Donald, Jackie made reference there. Sweepers kind of dominated the game, and the middle was very crowded, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think it was more or less like the sweepers just remained back, but I think it was really the middle third. Right, there was so many bodies, right? There's just a clip here to show. You know, there's 16 players inside here, right? So open hurling, right? You know, fluid play was never going to be part of this agenda. And we'll just look here, right? A little clip on Paddy Manny. He looks up, no option except to go for score, because look at all the space inside there, but nobody occupying it, right? So that was the type of game it was, both for Wexford and Waterford. Lots of balls dropping into the keeper's hands and whatever, you know.
Do you like that kind of game? I mean, like the Cork Tip game was a shootout, for instance. Do you find that fascinating, because it might be as free flowing?
There's, you know, if you're involved with a team, right? Okay, the aim of the game is to win. Yeah. Now, if you're in the quarter final, right? The psychology something going is that we don't want to lose this, and that's why you end up with a game like that, right? So you're not going bald-headed for it. You want to play the percentages and try and get a win, get into the semi-final, express yourself in Croke Park, where there's fine open spaces, right? But the name of the game for Derek McGrath and Davy Fitzgerald today was win the match. Yeah. Win it whatever way you can. And if you will play that way, you're playing to your strengths, and that's the way they set up. And I find these, you know, a bit like a chess match, but just fascinating, right? But both managers made reference afterwards to the fact the goal was crucial, and that came from an error, in effect. Yeah, well, it was, you know, and it is unfortunate rather than huge creativity, like, right, that, you know, James Green lost the ball, and you see it there. Beautiful ball inside from right into Kevin Moore. He didn't try and put it into his hand, he put it in front of him. Now Mark Fanning backs himself to get there, but he came a little late. For me, I think he should have stayed at the edge of the square and set himself. You'll see there, right, okay, legs were open, and Kevin Moore had nothing to do just to pull in the ball. Sean Murphy here calls for the ball. He should have gone out a bit further, so he was directly behind. And when the ball broke, he was out of the play. Kevin Moore into the space, ran in. And you'll see Kevin Moore did nothing except pulling the ball. Mark Fanning went out a little bit too far, I think. In that situation, get the forward to make a decision. The decision for Kevin Moore was just pulling it, whereas if Mark Fanning stood up, he might have made a block. He mightn't have. It might have gone into the corner. Yeah. But that was the game breaker, really, right? And you could see, right, in the game today, Davy Fitzgerald was just leaving his place in the stand at that time, very happy. I would have been very happy if I was in position. By the time he got down at the end of the stairs, right, calamity, right? And going in at half-time, that's very important psychologically to go into half-time on a good note. And Wexford, having done well, came back into it. Ken said their first 20 minutes were out, came back into the game, then suddenly, right, that's a hammer blow, really, and they never recovered from it on the scoreboard.
Having said all that, though, Jackie, Davy Fitzgerald said there at the end, he's delighted with the year. He feels they've made great progress, the fans. So in a way, they're in a good place. And you see this team going places as well.
Yeah, I do, and Davy's really proud of his players tonight, and he should be, because they've had a great year. They've beaten Kilkenny, they've been to Croke Park and played in a Leinster final, and these are the things that they did really, really well. In a congested area, they went down the wings, they went down the channels. Diarmuid O'Keefe, a lovely score. You know, and they were able to penetrate that. This was one of the rare times they did. And look at this, Liam Ryan all the way up from fullback, and that shows the confidence Davy has put into these guys. But the areas for improvement are the poor shooting, the poor distribution that they have. And here we can see Lee Chin striking 4 of the guys way out the field, no real option inside. And this is what Wexford will be targeting next year, looking at you know, another wayward shot, short again, tied the work in on his own as well. But the thing for me that would have frustrated me with Wexford is, with 10 minutes to go, the game was over, was out of reach for them, and they never evolved. They stuck to their sweeper. You know, they had no plan B.
Should have pushed forward more.
They should have pushed forward, and particularly when Waterford went down to 14 men. You know, they had 2 men spare at the back. Push them up, ask a few questions. What's the worst that can happen? They lose the game. They were going to be beaten anyway. And, you know, they will be the things that they will be looking at next year, and looking at a plan B and a plan C. And you've seen in the last clip there, that's just a difference in the physicality. That Waterford team does. They're on the road for 4 years. They're physically mature. They're strong. You could see Jake Dillon. He just barreled straight through Willie Devereaux. And, you know, they will get a bit stronger. They'll get more experience. So, you know, this Wexford team will bounce back again.
No, exactly, Jackie. I think Waterford and Wexford are set up the same way, but Waterford played better right now. If Wexford evolve more and keep with the sweeper system, it might suit them next year and evolve a small bit more. We're playing this way 3 or 4 years. Now, not everyone likes the sweeper system. I wouldn't be a massive fan myself, but it suits Waterford because we're the best at playing it. And we still scored 121, 122 today, or 123, which is a great score.
And you're in the semi-final for a third year.
Now, I said I would be traditionalist at heart, but that 123 is a good score. And Wexford have to try and move on a small bit more, and they will. As Jackie said, they had a good year. And
well, you say that, and Waterford now in this semi-final for a 3rd year in a row. But the big talking point, obviously, their sweeper, Tig de Burka, could possibly miss that. He got the red card. Let's look at it now, and Jackie, you give us your verdict on it. We won't ask the Waterford man for his.
Yeah, it's there's a tangle right at the sideline there, right in front of the linesman between Harry Keogh and Tig de Burka. It's hard to see, but as you can see, after the 2 of them separate, Harry Keogh's helmet is open, the guard is loose, is hanging around. So something definitely happened, and like the linesman, he obviously saw it, and he's unlikely to make it up. So for me, it looked like Tig de Burka pulled or interfered with the helmet, which is a sending off. It's a harsh rule, but unfortunately it's there, and it was a sending off for me with a red card. And it was really unfortunate because he's not a dirty hurler, and I've never really seen him doing anything really bad on the hurling field.
Ken?
Look, I suppose, I have my Waterford hat on now, and people are probably shouting at the television at home, but I think it was inconclusive on the video there. He kind of pulled back, and he was half stopped going for a ball, and he pulled back. And look, I've been watching Tig for the last 3-4 years. He's the heartbeat of that team. He's brilliant at playing the way he plays. I don't think I ever even saw him give away a free. And I think it'd be very hard to miss a semi-final for something like that. I'll be honest with you. Like, if that was me or Jackie years ago, different kettle of fish. But I never seen Tig Burton in a dirty stroke in his life. And he plays ball after ball after ball. It was like a small bit of tangle, small bit of a slap maybe coming back, and he could have catched him by accident. But I think it was, I think it's very hard done. But I think the lads will have to appeal it. I think they have to appeal it.
Donald?
Well, it was difficult to see it clear cut on the video clip that we had, right? But I mean, Jackie referred to the fact that you could just barely see the helmet opened, but I don't think the referee might have seen it, but definitely the linesman was, 2-3 metres away from it, and I think that he made a call probably. And the rule is, if you interfere with the helmet now, you grab the face mask. No, not everybody gets penalised for it to get away, but if you do that, it's a straight red card. So Fergal Horgan, I suppose, referees are under pressure as well.
The linesman spoke to him as well, didn't he?
I presume so, right, okay, so whatever. So the thing about appealing it, and I presume Waterford will, but they'll have to have something contrary to the evidence that's there. That's the way the thing works. But Tig de Burka has been a great servant for Waterford, and he'll be sadly missed in the semi-final.
Right. Man of the match then. Who are the contenders here, Jack?
Yeah, we had 3 days. The first guy was Lee Chin. Has had a massive year for Wexford. Everything goes through this guy, and today he was really, really good. The unfortunate thing for Lee, he had to go deep into his half, and Lee is a scorer and he creates things, and he was in the middle of everything today for Wexford. On the Waterford side, we Dara Fives, a massive first half, thundered into the game, scored a point. He was really, really crucial, delivered great ball into the Waterford attack. And the third guy, Kevin Moore, Ken has spoken about him already. This guy is around a while and is still leading the charge on, and Anton Waterford did today. He was in the middle of it.
Okay, who did you give it to, Donald?
Well, we plumped for Kevin Moore, to be honest with you, Des. Kevin has been around for a long time. Played in the All-Ireland final against Kilkenny. Jackie played the same day. But what he has given over the years to Waterford is massive physicality in the middle of the field, intelligence, right, and fierce leadership, right. And again today, 1-3, and does things nice and simple, right. Helps his players out, supports the players and worthy man of the match.
Okay, well, let's hear from the Ballysaggart man then. He spoke with Joanne after the game.
Kevin, congratulations. Do you feel that Waterford are getting to exactly the point where you need to be to achieve what we all know you really want?
Yeah, look, we all know what we want. We want to try and get to September first of all and back to Grove Park where we are. Look, it was a really tough game out there, obviously, and with a bad start to the summer, but we're after a good group, and now we're back in All-Ireland semi-final, and look, that's where we want to be, big games, and we're delighted to be there. It's hard to break down a defence like Wexford, the way they set up and things like that. And yeah, look, I suppose it was an important goal, but look, everyone involved did a good job, and we got over the line in the end. Tough game, but look, yeah, I was delighted to be on the end of it.
Yeah, well, congratulations. That's why you are the centre man of the match, and Michael Kiley is here with your award.
Thank you. Well done, Kevin. Thanks for it.
Well done, Kevin. They'll be happier in De La Salle than they will in Ballysaggart. Anyway, next up, it's yesterday's clash between Tipperary and Clare.